Hey, good morning to everybody. Happy Wednesday. It's Daryl here. It is bright and freaking early, man. It's 5 a.m. here in Connecticut on the East Coast. Okay, I was in the middle of my usual workout. I downloaded the video already this morning, and today's the day I do 1,000 sit-ups. And I was in the middle of that. And there's been something that's been on my mind for the last 3 or 4 days, especially. I did a video, and I talked about veterans. And the point of this video is I'm really trying to understand. I want to apologize, first of all, for if I offended who I offended, for the things I said. And I'm trying to understand, really, like I'm always honest to a fault on this when I do these videos. It's like my confessional. And I've been trying to figure out, trying to understand why it is I have this animosity, not for veterans, really. It's more for the politicians, I think, and for war itself. I'm really. This is the point of this. It bothers me. I don't like feeling like this. I don't like, I talk about compassion and empathy, and yet I did this video where I said these things about veterans that I didn't care and about all this other stuff. And I don't like that part of me. I don't like that I'm like that. That's really the point of this. I think I owe some people an apology too, and I'm not trying to backpedal. I looked on my subscribers, and I lost the most subscribers on that day. It was 4 subscribers, but I've never lost more than 1 subscriber on any day since I've been doing this channel. The reason I'm doing this video, it's not trying to get subscribers back. It's not trying to, kiss butt for the things I said. It's really, I don't like this part of me. I don't like feeling like this, and I'm trying to understand why it is I feel like this. I'm not going to go over, the video was, I think it was on February 11th. And, I'm not going to repeat the things I said, but I'm just trying to understand. Obviously I have some issues. There's another channel. This guy, I feel a kinship, a brotherhood with this guy. I'll put the link down below. It's the, forgive me if I get this wrong, Diary of a Griever named John Weaver. And, I've always felt a connection to this guy. And I did this video, and he has a brother that's a veteran, a combat veteran, and I offended him. And he did several videos. And to be honest, I couldn't watch the whole video. I felt bad. And I'm trying to understand what my problem is, because I don't like this part of myself. I don't like feeling like this. Another thing that I failed to mention is I have plenty of veterans in my family. My father wasn't available for the draft because I was already born. I guess you can't be drafted, having a kid and all that. My uncle was a 20-year. He was a officer for 20 years on a submarine. I remember taking tours of the submarine here in New London, Groton, of his submarine. I'm very proud of him. He retired. Unfortunately, he passed away now. I have another uncle that was a combat veteran from Vietnam. I remember getting him giving my father his combat boots when he got back. I remember hearing reel-to-reel recordings that he would send, and me and my father would listen to back when I was like 3 years old. And I was so worried for him. I have another uncle that was at the same time was in Korea. And he's another uncle I admire. While he was in Korea, he took martial arts like Taekwondo, Judo, Jiu-Jitsu, and he is like a black belt. He's actually a guy you hear about people's hands being registered as weapons. His hands are actually seriously registered as weapons. And I'm very proud of these guys. And it's I'm not trying to make excuses or backpedal here, but I'm trying to understand what it is. Like I said before, it's not the veterans themselves. I think it's more the politicians. I see the good people, veterans, concerned about the country. But I think what bothers me is Iraq and Afghanistan. And I hate to say this, but what I see is the futility, like the whole thing about weapons of mass destruction and all that. And these guys being sent there. And it had nothing to do with 9/11. and the way it turned out. And then I see these pictures on TV of these hundreds, these thousands of veterans with missing body parts and injured and all that. And it makes me so angry. And when these veterans say themselves, they say, you know, about how it feels good that they helped take down Osama bin Laden. And, you know, it's like they're repeating the propaganda. You know, this is propaganda. It feels, I think that's what one of the things I'm angry about. It feels like propaganda, that we're all supposed to praise this military machine and not ask any questions, and, you know, just be patriotic, and, you know, don't rock the boat. Don't ask any questions. You know, veterans are to be, and like I said, it's not the veterans. You know, part of me, I think it bothers me seeing these guys come back and their lives destroyed, or them being homeless. And a lot of them still repeating, you know, the rhetoric, you know, that what they did was for the protection of the United States and for my freedom and for other stuff like that. And to me, it just sounds like they're repeating this propaganda. So it's really, I'm not backpedaling, like I said, but I'm really trying to understand what it is that, you know, that I'm so angry about, that I don't like. It's not a good look. I don't like being like this. It goes against really who I am. And obviously something about it bothers me. And like I said, another part of this is when people bring up, usually people on the right, bring up, well, what about the homeless veterans? You know, and to me, it feels like they are using the homeless people, the homeless veterans, as a talking point. You know, when it's, honestly, the way I feel is the only time these people are concerned about homeless veterans is when they're using homeless veterans for a talking point against immigration, or against, you know, the southern border or whatever. What about, you know, these guys, these immigrants are getting $100 gift cards. What about the homeless veterans? You know, and I get the feeling that these people are just using these people that dedicated their lives to going overseas and, you know, being hurt and losing body parts, and they're using them for a talking point. You know, and then as soon as the argument's over, the debate's over, how concerned are they then? Are they doing anything then about the homeless veterans? You know, when nobody's looking, when there's no debate, you know, are they still so concerned about the homeless veterans? That's one of the things that really makes me furious. I think that's what it is. It feels like propaganda to me. That Atkins guy talking about, you know, talking about money for the veterans, and he talks about, you know, owing our freedom to them. It feels like a lie to me. It really does. The reasons we went over there, this whole weapons of mass destruction thing, how a lot of it was probably for oil, the whole turnout in Afghanistan. You know, I mean, I lived right next to New York City. You know, the whole 9/11 thing, I cried on that day. You know, it bothered me just as much as everybody else. It's really not the veterans that I have a problem with, you know, and I'm sorry that it came across that way. And my sincere apologies to veterans and to families of veterans. I think I really feel like there's a bigger thing bothering me, and it came out in the wrong fashion. I wasn't accurate in expressing myself. I think that's what it was. Like I said, I don't like being this person. I don't like feeling this way, and I'm trying to understand, you know, what's up my, you know, what's bothering me. I hope that made some sense. All right, I'll be back later with another video. You guys, the links will be down below for a diary of a griever named John Weaver. Link will be down below. He made, I don't know, like 10 videos. So it bothered him, honestly, and I sincerely apologize. I do. My issue isn't really with the veterans. It's more with the whole United States government propaganda. I know I sound like a hippie. Maybe I was born in the wrong generation. You know, the anti-war protester. That's kind of what I feel like when I'm talking now. Anyway, you guys have a good Wednesday.